Today, I won't keep you in suspense. I want to get straight to the point because this message is both urgent and universal. Our topic is simple, but it cuts deep: want but don't need. When I say this phrase, I'm not playing with words. I'm confronting a mindset that's quietly shaping the way we live, work, spend, and even love. I want you to hear it not just with your ears, but with your whole awareness. This is an invitation to reflect deeply on your life and the influences that shape it. Let's start with this. What do we really need? We need air. We need food. We need water. We need connection. We need meaning. These are the pillars of life. When we say need, we are talking about survival, purpose, and well-being. These are non-negotiables. They form the foundation upon which we build our lives. Without them, we cannot thrive, we merely exist. But let's now talk about what we want. The newest phone. Designer sneakers. A luxury watch. The latest smart appliance. Social media likes. Status. Convenience. Recognition. Comfort. These desires are plentiful and often overwhelming. They can be enticing and alluring, promising happiness and fulfillment. But they often lead us down a path of dissatisfaction and longing. There's nothing wrong with wanting. In fact, desire has driven progress for centuries. It fuels innovation, creativity, and ambition. However, trouble starts when wants disguise themselves as needs, when preferences become dependencies, and when things we can live without start controlling how we live. This is where the line blurs, and the consequences can be profound. Let me give you a personal example. I have friends who are deeply into watches. Beautiful, intricate machines, symbols of craftsmanship. They appreciate the artistry and the history behind each piece. But one of them told me once, if I forget my watch at home, I feel less confident. Like I'm incomplete. That was a powerful confession. What does that tell us? That he no longer wears the watch. The watch wears him. His self-worth has become entangled in an object. And that's not fashion anymore. That's attachment. That's psychological dependency. It illustrates a broader societal issue. When our identities become intertwined with our possessions, we risk losing sight of who we truly are. Now, this might seem harmless at first. But this mindset, this confusion between want and need, can grow into something dangerous when it infiltrates every area of life. And in our hyper-connected, hypermarket, and hyper-pressured world, it often does. We are bombarded with messages telling us that we need the latest products, the trendiest styles, and the most popular experiences to be valid and worthy. Let's be honest, we are living in the golden age of consumerism. Everything around us is engineered to make us want more. Ads don't just sell products, they sell identities. Your phone isn't just a tool, it's who you are. Your clothes aren't just fabric, they are your personal brand. This constant barrage of marketing creates a culture of comparison, where we measure our worth against others based on what we own and how we present ourselves. Social media exacerbates this issue. You see curated lives, filtered realities, luxury vacations, and perfect relationships, and slowly, your wants start to feel like needs. You start to believe, I need this to belong. I need this to matter. I need this to be seen. This is the insidious nature of social media. It cultivates an environment where external validation becomes a necessity for internal satisfaction. But here's the harsh truth: if you need external things to feel internal worth, you've handed your freedom away. You've given power to material possessions and societal expectations, allowing them to dictate your self-esteem and happiness. Let's break this down. When we mistake wants for needs, 5 major problems occur. Easily shaken self-worth. When your self-worth relies on external things, you're easily shaken. If the item breaks, is taken away, or goes out of style, so does your confidence. You become vulnerable to the whims of consumer trends, leaving you feeling empty and insecure. Infinite desires, wants are infinite. The moment you get what you wanted, a new desire takes its place. You're stuck on a treadmill of craving, never fully arriving. This cycle of desire leads to a perpetual state of dissatisfaction, where you are constantly chasing the next thing instead of appreciating what you already have. Financial anxiety, buying things we think we need often leads to overspending, debt, and financial anxiety. Consumer culture thrives on this, and it keeps people trapped. The pressure to keep up with societal expectations can lead to poor financial decisions, creating a cycle of stress and regret. Loss of inner connection. When you define yourself by your possessions or status, you lose connection with your inner self. Who are you without the labels? That question becomes terrifying. You may find yourself in a crisis of identity, struggling to understand your true self beyond the material possessions you've accumulated. Pressure in relationships. In love, if you need the other person to be whole, it puts unbearable pressure on the relationship. It turns love into possession and romance into dependency. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect and independence, not on the need to complete one another. Let's look at technology. Tech is supposed to make life easier, and it does. But it also accelerates the confusion between wants and needs. You don't just want a phone, you need the newest iPhone every year. You don't just want faster internet, you need it to feel productive. You don't just want smart home devices, you need them to feel safe, efficient, or modern. A case study from Japan in 2023 showed that nearly 40% of teenagers believed their self-worth was linked to their social media presence. Not achievements. Not friendships. Not skills. Just likes and followers. That's the power of tech-driven illusion. It can make a virtual want feel like a real need. This alarming trend highlights the urgent need for awareness and self-reflection in our tech-driven society. So how do we escape this trap? We shift from a need-based identity to choice-based living. Here's the difference. Need-based identity says, without this, I am nothing. Choice-based living says, I can enjoy this, but I am fine without it. Freedom lies in the second mindset. When you know what you can live without, you're no longer a prisoner of trends, validation, or possessions. You reclaim your autonomy and begin to define your life on your own terms. Try this: leave your favorite item at home for a day. Don't wear the watch. Don't open Instagram. Don't chase the notification. Just be. If it's hard, notice that. That's where the work begins. This exercise can reveal how much of our identity is tied to our possessions and habits. You are not what you buy. You are not what you wear. You are not how many followers you have. You are the sum of your values, choices, actions, and impact. Your worth is inherent, not contingent on external factors. Let your wants inspire you, but never let them define you. Let your needs ground you, but never let them suffocate you. Recognize the difference between the two, and you will find a sense of peace and clarity that is often elusive in our fast-paced, consumer-driven world. In a world that sells illusions 24/7, clarity is revolutionary. The simple act of saying, I want this, but I don't need it, is an act of freedom. It is a declaration of independence from the chains of consumerism and societal pressure. Live a life where your value comes from within. Not from what you own, who you date, or how you appear. Own your wants. Respect your needs. But never reverse them. By doing so, you will cultivate a life filled with authenticity, joy, and genuine fulfillment. Thank you for listening. Stay conscious. Stay free.